Bro, let's stop pretending for a second. For real. Drop the mask, drop the pride, and just be honest with yourself. You ever sit there, I mean really sit there, and ask, why did she leave? After everything you did. After all the effort, the time, the loyalty, the love you poured into her. You showed up in ways most guys don't. You stayed when it was hard. You gave her consistency. You gave her your heart. And still, she drifted. Now you're stuck in your own head, replaying everything. Every little moment, every text, every look, every time you reassured her, showed up, made sacrifices, and it still wasn't enough. You're thinking, what more could I have done? You're driving yourself crazy trying to make sense of it, as if loyalty was supposed to guarantee forever. But here's the truth no one tells us. The truth that stings the most. It was never really about what you did. It was always about how you made her feel. That's the part we miss. You could give her the world, take care of her, support her, protect her. But if she stops feeling something real in your presence, she's already halfway out the door. Not because she's heartless, not because she wanted someone better, but because emotion is the heartbeat of loyalty. And when that emotional pulse fades, so does her reason to stay. She didn't leave because you weren't good. She left because the feeling started to fade. And maybe you didn't notice it at first. The little ways her tone changed, how her eyes stopped lighting up, how the silences started to stretch longer. But that feeling, that emotional connection, that's everything to her. That's her compass. And once she no longer feels it, it doesn't matter how loyal, kind, or consistent you were. Her heart's already somewhere else. Point 1. The more you try, the more she tests. Listen, man, I know your intentions were pure. Your heart was in the right place. You weren't trying to play games. You weren't trying to manipulate. You genuinely thought, if I show her I care, if I go above and beyond to prove I'm the one, she'll stay. So you over-delivered. You were always there. You checked in morning and night. You planned thoughtful little dates. You gave her your time, your attention, your presence. Every time she got in a mood, you reassured her. You became her emotional safety net. Because in your mind, that's what loyalty looks like. But here's the part that stings. The part no one really warns you about. The moment your energy shifts from being solid to proving your worth, she feels it. Women are intuitive, bro. They don't just hear your words, they feel your energy. And when that energy starts coming from a place of anxiety, not confidence, when your presence starts to say, I hope I'm enough, instead of, I know I am, it doesn't feel like love to her anymore. It starts to feel like pressure, and pressure doesn't pull a woman closer, it pushes her away. She doesn't pull back because she's interested in someone else. She pulls back because your energy, once grounded and magnetic, now feels needy. It feels unstable. It feels like you're looking to her for validation, like you need her approval to breathe. And no woman wants to feel like she's your oxygen. That's not love to her. That's emotional weight. And the more weight she feels, the more she'll test you. Not to hurt you, but to see if you're still standing on your own feet or leaning on her just to stay upright. Here's what most men miss. Women don't stay loyal to effort alone. They stay loyal to energy, to presence, to the feeling of a man who knows who he is, with or without her. When you stop chasing her approval, when you stop trying to prove you're worthy and instead just exist in your worth, that's when she starts leaning in again. Because now you're no longer handing her your power, hoping she gives it back. You're standing in it, owning it. But the more you chase her love like it's a reward to be earned, the faster she'll test your stability. And if you keep cracking every time she pulls back, she'll stop seeing you as someone she can trust emotionally. She'll see someone who's trying too hard to be chosen, instead of someone who knows he's already enough. Quick break. Close your eyes for a second. Picture her, the girl you've always wanted. Feel what it would be like to actually have her. Now open your eyes, because here's the truth. Right now, you're invisible to her. You're getting outcompeted by guys with more money, better looks, higher status, and stronger game. You're playing a rigged game, and you're losing. But I've spent the last 35 years mastering this, studying, testing, and finally finding the secrets to get the girls I always wanted. You want to stop getting ignored? You want her chasing you? Then you need to wake up and act. Click the link in the comments if you are truly committed and take the first step toward becoming that guy. Few spots left. Be fast or miss out your last chance to make her yours. Let's get back to it. Point 2. She follows the man who leads emotionally. Bro, let me ask you something real. Have you ever noticed that the moment you start second-guessing yourself, questioning your place in her life, shrinking around her moods, that's when she starts pulling away? That's not just bad timing. That's not a coincidence. That's emotional polarity in action. See, women don't follow words. They follow emotional leadership. Not dominance, not control, but presence, stability. That grounded energy that tells her, no matter what wave you're riding, I'm the shore you land on. Emotional leadership isn't about being loud or alpha posturing or acting unbothered to look cool. It's about being anchored. It's about staying calm when she's chaotic, being still when she's spinning. When she's caught in her emotions, she needs to feel that you can hold space, not crumble under the weight of her storm. Because here's the truth. The moment you start over-adjusting to fix her mood, the moment you start reacting to every little thing she says or does, you're giving up your power. You're handing her the wheel. And even if she takes it for a while, deep down, she doesn't want it. What she wants, whether she says it or not, is to feel that you're unshaken, that your emotional state doesn't depend on hers, that you don't flinch every time she throws a little chaos your way. Because when she feels that you can hold steady in her storm, she relaxes. She trusts, she softens. That's when she leans in, because your presence gives her permission to drop her guard. But if you keep mirroring her chaos, panicking when she's panicking, over-explaining, walking on eggshells just to keep the peace, you become emotionally reactive, predictable, easy to shake. And once she realizes that she can move you just by shifting her tone or energy, the dynamic flips, the polarity dies, and without that polarity, that natural dance of masculine and feminine, attraction fades fast. Point 3, she doesn't want you to fix her, she wants you to feel her. This one's a game changer, and it's something most guys completely miss. When she's upset, frustrated, or overwhelmed, she's not always looking for solutions. You might think the way to help her is by jumping in with advice or quick fixes. Well, why don't you just do this? Or, you should try that. But half the time, she's not asking for a checklist or a plan. She's asking for presence. She wants to be truly felt, heard, and understood, not immediately fixed. Let me break it down. Imagine she's venting about a tough day, her voice shaking with frustration or sadness, and instead of listening, you cut in with a solution. Boom, you've already missed the entire point. What she feels in that moment is that you're brushing past her feelings like they don't matter, rushing to patch things up rather than sitting with her pain. Emotionally, that feels like disconnection, like you don't really see her or respect what she's going through. But here's the key. When you pause, breathe, and really show her that you're with her, when you look her in the eyes and say something like, "Damn, that must have felt heavy," or "I can tell that really hurt you." Bro, that hits different. That kind of response says, "I see you, I'm here for you, you're not alone." And that's what opens her up, what makes her feel safe enough to drop her walls and be vulnerable. She's not a problem for you to solve. She's a human being with complex emotions that want to be felt and honored. Stop trying to fix every crack in the wall. Start feeling the texture of her emotions, the weight, the depth, the nuance. That's what brings her closer. That's what builds true intimacy. And that's what keeps the connection alive. Because at the end of the day, real connection isn't about solutions. It's about shared emotional space. When you learn to hold her emotions instead of trying to fix them, you become the kind of man she wants to lean on. Not because you have all the answers, but because you're willing to feel with her. Point 4. She'll test you when she feels too safe. This one might sound totally backwards at first, but stick with me. The moment she feels too secure, when things get calm, predictable, and almost too comfortable, that's when she starts stirring the pot a little. Not because she wants to sabotage the relationship or create unnecessary drama. No, it's deeper than that. She's trying to feel something again. She's chasing that spark, that emotional tension that keeps her alive and connected to her feminine energy. You might be sitting there thinking, why would she test me after I've done everything right? I've shown up, stayed loyal, been consistent. Why mess with a good thing? But that's exactly why. When everything becomes too perfect, too smooth, her emotions start to flatten out. the excitement fades, the thrill of the chase disappears, and in that emotional flatness, she begins poking and prodding, pulling back here, throwing out a little coldness there, questioning things without any real reason. It's not about creating chaos for chaos's sake. It's about emotional tension, the push and pull, the uncertainty, the polarity that fuels desire. That tension is what keeps her feeling alive, feminine, and engaged. When the emotional energy dips too low, her instinct is to shake things up to test your boundaries, to see if you're really unshakable or if you'll crumble under pressure. So when she throws a little attitude your way or suddenly goes cold without explanation, don't freak out, don't panic, don't chase or beg for her attention. Instead, stay centered, stay calm, hold your ground like the steady rock you are. Show her that your sense of self doesn't waver just because her mood shifts, that you don't lose yourself or your confidence when she tests you. That kind of stability commands respect. It keeps her emotionally locked in because she realizes you're not someone she can easily manipulate or shake. The moment she sees you can withstand her storms, that you won't break or fold under pressure, she starts respecting you more. And respect is a foundation deeper than any surface level affection. On the flip side, if she senses you're rattled by her tests, if she sees you chasing her mood swings, she starts losing interest, because no woman wants to be with someone who can be easily shaken. She wants a man who's strong enough to be her anchor, even when the seas get rough. Point 5. Her loyalty grows when you pull back, not when you cling. Here's a hard truth that stings at first, but sets you free once you really get it. She doesn't miss you when you're always there. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. The constant presence, the non-stop texts, calls and check-ins. You think you're showing love and commitment, but what you're really doing is killing the space where attraction breathes and grows. Space is essential. It's the invisible energy that fuels desire. Without it, things go stale. When you're always available, always right there, your value starts to feel ordinary, predictable. She never gets a moment to miss you because you never leave her mind. She doesn't get to wonder where you are or what you're doing. The spark of curiosity fades, and with it, the intensity of attraction. But when you pull back, not out of frustration or anger, but from a place of grounded confidence, something powerful happens. You give her room to breathe, time to process her feelings, space to reflect on what you mean to her without your presence being shoved in her face every second. This absence creates a magnetic pull. Suddenly, she finds herself wondering where your energy went. She checks your socials, rereads your old messages, plays back memories you've shared in her mind. The quiet absence stirs feelings she might have been suppressing. It's not about playing games or being distant to manipulate. It's about respecting the rhythm of attraction. It's about letting your value be felt, not forced. When you cling, when you over-message, over-call, or over-check-in, you flood the space where desire grows. You make yourself too available, and in doing so, you risk losing the mystery and the magnetism. If she never gets to miss you, she starts to take your presence for granted, and when that happens, loyalty wanes. But when you give her the space to feel your absence, that's when loyalty starts building naturally, quietly, and powerfully, because it's born from appreciation, curiosity, and genuine desire, not obligation. Point 6. Mystery isn't a game, it's masculine power. So many guys hear, be a mystery, and immediately think it means playing childish games or keeping secrets just to confuse her. But that's not what mystery really is, man. Mystery isn't about being fake or deceptive. It's about not being fully figured out. It's about maintaining a part of yourself that's sacred, untouched, and completely off limits to negotiation or explanation. You don't have to lay out every single thought, every plan, every feeling on the table. In fact, the more you overshare, the more you kill the natural curiosity and intrigue. When you reveal everything too soon, you become like a movie she's watched 10 times over. Predictable, boring, no tension, no spark, no pull. And without that tension, attraction fades. But when you have a life that's rich and full with or without her, when you move through your days with quiet confidence and calm certainty, that's magnetic. When she sees you smiling but can't always put her finger on what's really going on beneath the surface, that is the moment she leans in. That's when she starts chasing a piece of your soul she hasn't unlocked yet. being unpredictable in your presence, not reckless but subtly elusive, while being consistent in your core values and your character, that's what keeps her emotionally locked in. Because when she can't fully define you or predict your every move, her mind and heart stay engaged, constantly intrigued. That uncertainty fuels desire. It creates tension and polarity, the very things that keep a relationship alive and electric. Mystery isn't about manipulation, it's about power. The power to hold your space, protect your inner world, and invite her curiosity without pressure or neediness. When you embrace that kind of mystery, you don't just capture her attention, you captivate her heart. Point 7. If your energy feels needy, she'll run, even if you're doing everything right. This one's hard to swallow, but it's real. She can feel the intention behind every move you make. You might be buying her gifts, sending compliments, texting good morning every day, all of which seem like the right things to do. But if those actions come from a place of needing her validation or response, she picks up on it instantly, and it turns her off. It's never just about what you do, it's why you do it. If you're reaching out because you genuinely want to share your energy and vibe with her, that's authentic and it feels good. But if you're texting because you're anxious, she might forget you or pull away, that's insecurity. And women can smell that from a mile away. It's like a subtle vibration in your energy that screams, "I'm not whole without you." And that's a major red flag. Women are instinctively drawn to men who give from abundance, not from emptiness. When your cup is full, when your energy is strong, secure, and attractive, your presence becomes magnetic. You give freely because you have plenty to give. But when you give just to be liked or to stop her from drifting away, that's exactly when she senses the neediness. And ironically, that's when she pulls away even more. The key is to give from power, not from a place of fear or desperation. That's what keeps her coming back. It's not about trying harder or doing more. It's about being more solid, more focused, more grounded in yourself. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. You were never meant to earn her loyalty by working harder. You were meant to inspire it by being harder to shake. Women don't remember the man who bought the flowers. They remember the man whose presence shook their soul. That kind of presence can't be bought or begged for. It comes from deep within. If this hit home for you, drop a comment. I won't chase, I'll lead. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. If this message spoke to you or gave you something to think about, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new drop. I've got more real talk, more growth, and more power coming your way. So stay locked in. And if you're going through something right now, just remember, your silence can say more than 1,000 words ever could. Take care of yourself, keep rising, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.